So a lot of you probably just waking up this morning and this is your first look at the latest track. So here's what you need to know. Portions of Southwest Florida no longer in the cone of concern. It's going to be portions of Charlotte County and north that are still in the cone. But here's the thing, Southwest Florida, we are right on that side, which means we could still see some impacts from this storm. I absolutely am anticipating that. I was just texting the rest of the weather team and we are in constant communication all weekend long, talking about what we possibly could have to deal with and really just getting prepared as this starts to inch a little bit closer through the Caribbean area. Right now it is about 320 miles south-southeast of Grand Cayman Island. Let's take a quick look really at what we're dealing with when it comes to the timeline of everything. We're going to go through the full track together in just a second. So those models really in agreement as we go through the next 72 hours that this system is going to pass through the western side of Cuba. Here's where the difference really happens. And that is why I don't want you to focus too much on just, oh, we're out of the cone, because some of those models still have it getting a little bit closer to Southwest Florida, but then the rest are starting to do that trend we talked about yesterday to the northwest and showing more of a trend closer to the panhandle of Florida. I think right now we do have those hurricane hunters that are flying through Ian, and as we get that 11 o'clock advisory, I think we might start to see these models tighten up a little bit, and we'll have better answers for you and also a better idea of what type of impacts we actually could see. So here's that full timeline right here. So as we go through today and into early Tuesday morning, this storm is expected to rapidly intensify into a Category 3 storm, eventually into a 4 as it passes Cuba through the Gulf waters, and then you see it weaken as it inches closer to the state, and they think that'll be about early Friday morning. The reason why we see this weakening is because wind shear is supposed to come into play, which is very welcome, especially when at one point this storm is expected to be a Cat 4. Now, the reason why we're going to see that rapid intensification is because we have warm waters right now in the Caribbean, the warmest waters really in the entire Atlantic basin. And remember, rapid intensification is seeing those wind speeds increase at least 35 miles per hour in just 24 hours. We have a couple of hurricane watches and warnings, not for our area. The focus right now going to be the islands in the Caribbean. So the Cayman Islands, you can see a portion of them under that hurricane warning, portions of Cuba as well under that orange, which is a hurricane watch, turns into a tropical storm warning as you get closer to the east side of the island. As of 8 o'clock this morning, again, that location not too far from Grand Cayman Island, wind speeds up to 50 miles per hour, gusts a little bit higher at 65 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the track here when it comes to our feature cast. It's going to be about early Monday. The Cayman Islands will start to see the center of that storm. Eventually, as it moves across the western side of Cuba, that'll be early Tuesday morning. That's when we could start to see some of that moisture surge into our area, especially some of that cloudiness as well. Some of the other impacts we could see as we head into Tuesday and also your Wednesday, going to be a high risk, I think, of rain and storm surge, especially since we're on the east side of that system and the wind going to be coming out of the south. And that's going to be something we're watching out for with the storm surge. I think by the end of today, we'll get a forecast on surge from the National Hurricane Center. They haven't released that just yet. And again, since we're on the east side, the wind and tornado is going to be a moderate risk. Remember, the east side of a storm is also known as the dirty side of a storm. Today, though, locally, everything is nice and quiet, very beautiful out there. A mix of sun and clouds after 1 o'clock. We're looking at a few isolated showers becoming widespread storms, especially through our inland areas, dissipating around 10 o'clock in the evening. The 7-day forecast, here's the timeline for you, so that way you can plan your work week as we continue to watch the tropics. For today, mostly sunny, a few storms, highs maxing out in the low 90s. I think Monday, for the most part, we'll start to slowly see those storms and also the cloud coverage building in. At the earliest on Tuesday, we'll start to feel tropical storm force winds and see some of the rain. We continue to watch the tropics as we head through your mid-work week and also the end of your work week.